Welcome into Big Z Sports. I'm Joe Geckler, and I'm going to be happy to be joined by former Conotton Valley head football coach Don Hertler Jr. as he announced his retirement back on January 9th, and it's my pleasure to welcome in Coach Hertler to Big Z Sports, a special podcast to kind of relive Coach Hertler's past career here at Conotton Valley. And Coach, first of all, thanks so much for taking the time out of your busy day and joining us here with Big Z Sports. And I know you've enjoying retirement right now. I believe you're on a boat maybe down in Florida or enjoying some warm sunshine. So
yes, I'm on a boat, and I had the best oysters I've ever had, and it's a pretty good day today.
Well, that's
with
awesome.
Some really good friends.
Absolutely. That's the way to start out retirement, Coach. And first and foremost, from everybody here at Big Z Sports, thank you for all you did for us in the last 3 years and how you welcomed us into your program and allowed the access to you guys and your players and program. We appreciate it, and we're definitely going to miss you here at Big Z Sports.
Well, I appreciate you letting me speak for a little bit, because I want to thank you guys, because you keep high school sports going down there. And, without the newspaper stuff anymore, the way you guys do social media now and the way you do media, it's just outstanding for our student athletes, and I really appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate the kind words, Coach. And, obviously 27 years as a head coach. You had 2 different stints at Conotton Valley. You were an assistant under John Dean from 85 to 86. And then you went on to Garaway, and you spent some time there at Garaway from 87 to 94. And then you went up to Massillon for a season and then took over the post at North Canton Hoover in 1996. But then you came back to Conotton Valley, and you did some great things over the past 3 years. You finished with a 16-14 record. You were in the playoffs all 3 years you were there. Talk about your time at Conotton Valley, the first time, and now you finished out your career back in Bowerston.
As I mentioned long ago, the first time I was there, I had no other job except a phys ed health job at Conotton Valley, and Don McBride and Ken Gold hired me down there, and my dad had to drop me off to the interview because I don't know if I would have found it. So, and he left me alone. But it was a great first 2 years of my teaching, coaching career. It's all I wanted to do since I was about 7th or 8th grade, and I ran into a lot of great kids and a lot of great people. And if it were not for that job, I would not gotten the the Garaway job at 25 years old and being the head football, baseball coach there. So, and working with one of my best friends, Todd Van Reeth at Garaway.
Well, obviously, Coach, your first time there at Conotton Valley was short, but you guys did some great things there. I believe you were 10-0 in one regular season appearance and 8-2 as well. But, you look at your time at Conotton Valley the second time around, in the 3 years you were there, your program, and you went through some adversity a little bit. And we'll go through, the first season you came back, and it was a very successful run. You had some really great kids that come through that program over the last 3 years. You had some great assistant coaches, and the program, I believe, is in good hands after you have retired now on January 9th. But talk to us about the stint this time at Conotton Valley.
Yeah, it was the right time and the right place. Mr. Herman brought me in along with Dave DiDonato, and then John Zuckel took over as the superintendent this year and was outstanding, and then Mrs. Caldwell, the principal. But people were really excited with the facilities going in, and they allowed me to stay down in Florida and be retired. So I never really retired. I partially retired, I guess, but it was just great to come back and give to Conotton Valley. I'm not the same guy I was at North Canton Hoover or even Garaway, but I tried to do my best with these kids and tried to bring some credibility to the program and make us competitive against people, and I really think we did that. And it's a really good place. I think the next 4 to 10 years it could really take off if people buy into the philosophy of truly what it takes to be successful, and not mediocre. Then I really think the place can take off, and I think that's what John Zuckel and his staff want to accomplish.
Yeah, I would agree with you wholeheartedly, and obviously, at the end of, was it last season or the season before, is when Conotton Valley had some adversity with some former football players with a car accident, and talk to us about that time as when you were head coach there, and how you helped bring the community back together.
Well, I was definitely not in charge of bringing the community together, but the year prior, we lost a young man, Evan Rice's brother, who was our, third-team All-Ohio guy this year when I came in. And, it's just sort of like God put me in the right place for those 3 years. There were a lot of people that encouraged me to come back, and I truly believe that, we had COVID adversity every single day, like everybody else. Then we lose Braylon, and also Garson, Imes being in the car wreck and him being a miracle making it out of there. And just a lot of things like that I'm really glad I was there to be a part of that. It happened last February. It was actually around my birthday. And I flew back up for a week to spend time with the Novak Phoenix family, and they were friends of mine when I first came there 30-plus years ago. And I actually coached Dan, the father of Braylon, and had Tanya in school also. And so, it was a lot bigger than football to me. I came in as a football coach, and I just mainly did football. But the people down there who really brought me in when I was a young kid at 23 years old, always be grateful for, to give me a chance to have a start and do stuff right.
Well, Coach, we have talked on numerous occasions out at football games or just via text, you and I, and you talk about you want to make an impact just not on the football field but in lives of former players and athletes that you've been around. And, talk to us about your time there at Conotton Valley and the impact that you feel that you made and that you hope you left.
Well, like you said, the kid's number one, but my assistant coach is number two, and also our administration hired like 3 or 4 teacher coaches for that building, and that's why I felt I didn't have to be there all the time, because I knew they could take care of things, when I was not there. But the kid-wise, we don't have many kids. I really hope someday that people move out of maybe some other places and come down there, because there aren't enough kids per se. But if you're a backup somewhere, I think it's a great place to go, play some sport, not just one sport. And, but the kids I had down there, I can't say enough for. The kids that hung in there with me through COVID, through my sister passing away of Lou Gehrig's disease, and helping me through that time. It was just meant to be, and I can't thank my players enough. And they gave their all for us, and I think I learned a lot from them, and they learned a lot from me, and it was a group effort. It was a we, not a me, all the way since I've been down there.
Well, that is a great sentiment to those kids out at Conotton Valley, the administration, and of course the families involved at Conotton Valley. If you want your legacy to be remembered at Conotton Valley, how do you want them to remember Don Hertler Jr.?
Just ask my players that made it through with me for the last 3 years. That's all you have to do.
Absolutely.
The ones that made it through, they may not all like me when change comes. When change comes, it's a little bit tough.
Sure.
And you're not going to be popular all the time. And when you try to do things in your vision to try to make things better for their future for the next 10, 20 years, it's not always going to be popular. But the kids that play for me, they're my legacy, period. And I think they know how I feel about them, and I think most of them feel the same way about me. And like I said before, I stopped coaching football, but I'm not going to stop coaching. And I'll keep coaching these kids as long as I can pronounce my name.
There you go. Well, Coach, you're a class act, man, and it's been a pleasure the last 3 years to get to know you out of Conotton Valley. I only moved into the area in 2011, so I wasn't really here during the height of your coaching and didn't get to know you before the last couple of years. But, man, it's been an absolute pleasure to get to know you and get to learn about Don Hertler Jr., the Hall of Famer. And, we appreciate, again, everything that you did for us and did for Conotton Valley. And we wish you all the best in your retirement and enjoy that time on the boat and in the warm weather.
Yeah, thanks. And I love T County and that whole surrounding area. They gave me a start, and I have so many great friends. And then Stark County, obviously, and my home is North Canton, and now I'm looking forward to watching a lot of my players' kids play and having more freedom to be able to do those things. But talked to my man Zach Putnam yesterday, and told him I'm here to work with him as a QB. As long as he wants to keep working, I'm going to keep trying to serve others and help other kids out.
That's a great thing, Coach. Again, congratulations on retirement. Enjoy it, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you again real soon.
Thanks so much.
Again, that's former head coach at Conotton Valley, Don Hertler Jr., who announced his retirement back on January 9th, and he is going off into the sunset and enjoying retirement now, and he wanted to speak with Big Z Sports and, of course, to talk about his Conotton Valley community, and we appreciate his time and his efforts over the last 3 years at Conotton Valley. It was a pleasure to get to know him and get to watch him grow that program out in Bowerston. Again, I'm Joe Geckler for Big Z Sports. We'll talk to you again real soon.